You've probably done this before. You finally get the thing you've been chasing, a version of yourself you're proud of, a job that makes you feel seen, a relationship that feels safe, a quiet moment that could have lasted. And then, like clockwork, you pull away, you freeze up, you sabotage it, not all at once, but piece by piece, until it's gone, and you're left wondering, why did I do that? Most of us explain it with easy words: fear of commitment, trauma, imposter syndrome, anxiety, and yes, those matter. But they're not always the whole story, because sometimes the thing inside you that ruins what's good isn't scared. It's not confused. It's not even in pain. It's hungry. And Freud had a name for that hunger. He called it thanatos, the death drive. Not a desire to die, a desire to return to nothing, to silence, to stillness, to that deep, eerie quiet that comes right after everything falls apart. We don't talk about this often, not in school, not in therapy, not in polite conversation, because it's unsettling. It forces us to admit something almost unspeakable. A part of you doesn't want to be saved. And that part, it's not broken, it's ancient. Freud believed thanatos was the shadow twin of eros, the life drive. One builds, the other breaks. One pulls toward creation, connection, desire. The other toward destruction, disconnection, erasure. And if you look closely, you'll see it. Not in your lowest moments, but your best ones. The day things feel okay and your skin crawls. The night you feel calm and you stir drama for no reason. The time everything is working and you start ghosting, canceling, escaping. Because peace doesn't just soothe. For some of us, it terrifies. See, if you've grown up in chaos, if love meant pain, if stability meant control, then peace feels unfamiliar, and the brain hates unfamiliar. So instead of sitting in it, you ruin it. You pick the fight. You send the text. You take the risk that flips the table. Why? Because at least chaos makes sense. Pain is predictable. Collapse has rules. But joy? Joy is vulnerable. Joy is terrifying. Because what if you love it and it leaves? So you beat it to the punch. You ruin it before it can ruin you. And in some twisted way, that feels like power. Freud understood this. He believed thanatos wasn't just about dying, it was about control. If something has to end, let me be the one who ends it. It's why some of us would rather burn the bridge than wait for someone else to walk away. Why we procrastinate the dream job until the deadline passes. Why we ghost the one person who finally sees us. Not because we're lazy, not because we're mean, but because something inside us decided that being invisible is safer than being seen and left. Thanatos isn't loud. It doesn't come with sirens or panic attacks. It's quiet, comfortable. It shows up like a friend you trust and says things like, "You're not ready. You'll fail anyway. Let them leave before you care too much. Start over, again." And you listen, because it sounds true. It feels like truth, but it's not. It's fear, dressed as wisdom. It's self-doubt wearing your voice. It's the unconscious trying to keep you small because growth feels unsafe. You might be thinking, that's not me. But think back. Ever missed a job interview because you forgot? Ever ignored a call from someone you liked, then convinced yourself they weren't that great anyway? Ever made a joke at your own expense just before something important because failure felt easier than hope? That's thanatos. That's the quiet part of you pulling the strings, not to hurt you, but to keep you safe in a way that destroys you slowly. It's the part of you that would rather stay in a sinking boat than risk swimming into unknown waters. Because drowning, you understand. Freedom? That's terrifying. Here's where it gets darker and more honest. Because Thanatos doesn't just show up in moments of fear, it evolves. It starts with simple avoidance. Then it becomes your rhythm. It hardwires into your routines, your habits, your language. You say, "I'm tired," when you mean "I've given up." You say, "I don't care," when you're terrified of caring too much. You say, "Maybe later," when you know you won't try again. And the people around you, they think you're functioning. You show up. You smile just enough. You keep things afloat. But inside, something's rotting, quietly, slowly. And it's not depression, not always. It's something deeper, more subtle. It's the drift, the slow slide into emotional emptiness. Not because you're broken, but because something in you learned that peace doesn't last. So why chase it? Freud never said this outright, but it's buried in his work. Thanatos isn't just the urge to end. It's the instinct to not begin, to keep your heart on lockdown, to keep your voice small, to keep your needs buried, because needs lead to disappointment, and disappointment hurts more than silence. So you train yourself to want less, feel less, expect less, until you start mistaking numbness for strength, disconnection for wisdom, detachment for maturity. But it's not wisdom, it's armor. Rusty, heavy armor you've worn for so long, you think it's part of you. And every time someone gets close, every time something real begins to grow, that armor rattles, and Thanatos shows up, not as panic, but as a soft voice saying, "Better not." So what do we do? What do we do when the very instinct meant to protect us starts killing off the parts of us that are still alive? Do we fight it? Shame it? Ignore it? Number because Thanatos is not the enemy. It's the wound. It's the scared child still living in your unconscious mind. The one who decided long ago, "I'll be safe if I stay small." And here's the truth. You don't heal a wound by shoving it deeper. You heal it by seeing it. So start there. Name it. When you catch yourself pulling away, say it out loud. "This is the part of me that's afraid of joy." This is Thanatos whispering again. And just like that, you take the first piece of power back. Not by forcing yourself to be brave, not by pushing harder, but by recognizing the sabotage as a symptom, not your identity. You are not broken. You are not your patterns. You are not your protection mechanisms. You are someone who learned to survive. But now survival is killing the parts of you meant to thrive. So let me ask you this, and answer it honestly. When was the last time you let yourself feel good without flinching? When was the last time you stood in peace and stayed there? If you can't remember, that's okay. But now you know what's been pulling you away. And now it's time to choose differently. Because Freud was right. Thanatos lives in all of us. But what he didn't say, what maybe even he didn't see, is that you can learn to live beside it without letting it drive. You can hear the voice and still keep going. You can feel the pull and still choose love, still choose risk, still choose light. It will never disappear, but it will lose power. And the more you name it, the more you confront it, the less it will shape your future. So next time you feel the urge to ghost, destroy, escape, implode, pause, feel it, and ask yourself, am I truly unsafe or just unfamiliar with peace? Because peace isn't the absence of danger. It's the willingness to stop living like everything is a threat. And if you made it to this point, you're already breaking the pattern. Not because you forced yourself to change, but because you finally saw the part of you that didn't want to. That part still exists. It always will. But now you see it. And what you see, you can no longer be controlled by. So let it whisper, let it ache, but don't let it drive, not anymore.